Hey golf people, in today's video we're taking a look at the top of the line rangefinder from really the market leader Bushnell. This is the Pro XE. We're going to take a look at all the features after we unbox it, and then we're going to take it out here on course. I'll show you exactly how it works, how accurate it is, and tell you who I think this is for. I don't think it's for everybody, so stay tuned to find out who I think will get the most out of this one. All right guys, it's time here for the unboxing of the Pro XE. Let's take a look here around the box. You can see that this magnification level is 7 times magnification. You've got a range from 5 to 1,300 yards. That's pretty far right there. By the way, 1,300 yards is just under 1,200 meters. With a flag though, if you're playing golf and you're using the rangefinder for golf, you're going to go up to 450 yards or up to 411 meters. If you were to use this maybe hunting or doing something outdoorsy, it could catch a tree about 700 yards out or 640 meters. That's the maximum range for that. And then if there was a reflective surface, like if you're bouncing this off a mirror or something like that, just to maybe measure something, maybe you're surveying a property, something like that. I really don't know what you'd use that for, but you could go as far as 1,300 yards or 1,189 meters there. Here are some of the cool benefits of this particular model. You've got elements compensation, which to me, this is probably the coolest part and why you might actually spend this kind of money on a rangefinder. What these elements are things like altitude, barometric pressure, humidity, and those sorts of things, which if you are looking for pinpoint accuracy, that could come in very handy. It could be the difference between coming up a yard or two short and just missing the green. If you want to hit it on the apron and let it roll on, that sort of thing. That could be very, very useful. This has pin seeker technology with what they call a visual jolt. And what that is haptic feedback. You're going to get some sort of vibration, and out on the course, I can tell you the vibration is really nice. And you're also going to get some visual feedback. So literally within the viewfinder, you can see that orange there. It's actually red inside the viewfinder. It'll tell you visually as well as haptically when you've locked on to a flag or it recognizes something as a flag. Now, I've found in practice that it doesn't always do that, and I'm not sure in what instances it does and doesn't, but I think you've got a better chance if you've got one of those pins that has the reflective surface on it. You're going to have a better chance of getting that visual jolt. This has completely waterproof construction. I've used this out in the rain, and it held up just fine. You've got slope technology, and what's nice is it actually has a very handy switch, and I think that it's probably, of all the rangefinders I've tested, the easiest to either turn on or off with just the little flick of a switch, which is really nice. And then it has bite technology, which is basically just a magnet mount built into the rangefinder. Now, my one little gripe about that is I wish the magnet was actually on the other side. And I'm going to show you that in just a second. But let's go ahead and open up this box. You know, if you've watched this channel, that I judge golf technology and the quality of that technology based on the packaging, and Bushnell never, ever disappoints in that category. This is high-end stuff, and it's very simple and quick to see that once you actually open the box and take a look inside. So what's nice is you have the rangefinder right there, right out on top, and you don't have to go digging around. I kind of like that. You get the instant gratification right when you open up this box. That's the switch I'm talking about there. It's literally the flick of a switch to turn on and off slope. So if you want slope on, there you go. You've got the little red there. And to turn it off, it's black. And it's literally just a flick of a switch to turn slope on and off. If we turn this around, this is where the magnet is. Okay, this is what they call the Bushnell bite, and it's a magnetic grip. I wish it was on this side, because when I'm, well, being right-handed, and certainly the lefties, this is finally a device for you guys maybe. But as a right-hander, when I use this, I actually have to sort of put it into my other hand to stick it up on the cart when I'm in a cart. If it was on this side, I could literally just snap it right on there, if that makes sense. So it wouldn't be nice for me personally as a right-hander to have it on this side, but I get probably why they didn't do that, because you've got the switch right here too. So it was, kind of one or the other. And honestly, it's not a big deal. But you know, I'm allowed to be picky because I look at these things very in depth, and yeah, I'm allowed to be picky. So let me tell you, from like a material and build standpoint, this is as good as it gets, guys. You can feel the weight in your hand. This is a solid piece of technology. I've tested a lot of these Chinese ones, and while they work well, I don't know how long they will stand up over time because, you know, build quality, this thing is solid. The materials are wonderful. You've got the eyepiece adjustment up here. This is not quite as easy to turn as some, but of course it works very, very well. And the other part of that is it's not going to get easily moved as quickly. I have little kids hanging around the house and things like that. They're always messing with my stuff. In fact, you might have seen a video. I'll put the link right here where they changed my rangefinder from yards to meters. And I didn't realize that until the end of the round. But it's actually nice that it's not too easy to actually move this and get it out of focus. But the focus is very nice. Beautiful optics in a Bushnell. I mean, that's kind of a given when you're going to spend this kind of money. You're going to have wonderful optics. On top, like most rangefinders, you've got a power button and a mode button. This will switch between the options. It'll give you that element compensation. There's a setting for that. And then, of course, you've got the setting to add slope or turn off slope. You can also change from meters to yards by long pressing that mode button. So in terms of build quality, fantastic in terms of the device itself. But let's look at what else is inside this box. Again, packaging matters to me because it's just the sign of a good product. And you've got this nice form-fitting foam here. If we take that off, inside you've got the manual. You've got some warranty information and a few other bits and bobs there. What is that? Oh, it's actually got a lens cleaner as well. How nice. You've got the quick start guide there, but we're not really going to need that one. And then inside, underneath this tab, you'll find a really, really high-end, high-quality case for this thing. Of all the rangefinders I've ever pulled out of a box, this here is absolutely the nicest case. This tab here makes it really nice. You don't always have to unzip, although I'll unzip it for the first time there. Nice and padded, really nice foam there. But when you're slipping the device in and out, when you're on course, if you want to have this on your bag or something like that, instead of having to unzip, you can just secure it right there with that little fastener, which is really nice and really handy. As high quality as one of these cases can be. Like I said, this is probably the nicest I've ever seen. And again, I do appreciate that. Very quick feedback. When you push that button, I don't think I've ever had a rangefinder that gave quicker feedback and quicker readings than this one. And again, at this price point, you're going to want that. Now, before we take this out on course, I want to mention our sponsor and the folks that sent me this Bushnell Pro XE. That is playbetter.com. I love playbetter.com because you have free shipping within the continental United States. You've got a 60-day hassle-free money-back guarantee. So if for any reason you're not satisfied with the purchase, they will take it back from you. While you can find great deals on there all the time, you can sometimes find some of these models that someone used and then returned, and you can save a few bucks that way. But the pricing really on playbetter.com is as good as it gets on the internet. They've always got the lowest prices from anything that I've ever found. And generally, if you're a friend of this show, you might even get an extra discount. So always look in the descriptions for my links, and that will get you the best price on these devices. So without further ado, let's go take it out to the course. Now, I've hit a number of pins out here with a couple of different rangefinders, and I find this to be spot on, which is exactly what I would expect from the top of the line here from Bushnell. Really the leaders in the space. They were pretty much first to the market as one of the big players, and they really maintain that position at the top for a reason. The optics are incredible. The accuracy is as good as it gets. It's professional level. In fact, I think more PGA professionals use Bushnell rangefinders than any other brand. Now, there's that big mode button up top, and that is going to give you that element correction. So it's going to adjust the distance based on factors like barometric pressure. In a place like this in Florida where it gets very hot and humid, sometimes the ball just does not travel as far. This is where a unit like this can be the difference between missing the green short and putting it right where it needs to be. I can't tell you how important this would be to a very low handicap golfer out here in a place like Florida, or if you're playing at places that you're not used to the altitude. Maybe you go out to the Rocky Mountains, to Scottsdale, some of these places and environments where at a very high altitude, this thing will not only give you the slope adjustment, but it will also adjust for those factors as well. Pretty cool. So for me, this rangefinder is not for the faint of heart. Obviously, it's at the top of the Bushnell line, and it's got a price to match that as well. Who I think this is best suited for is really a very low handicap golfer, someone who's probably trying to compete at a very high level, maybe even turn pro. This is a precision instrument for people who need pinpoint accuracy, who need to be within 1 yard or so in terms of distances. All right, and someone who can actually hit those distances and has the skill to do so. So if you're a competitive player, maybe someone who's looking to get on some kind of pro tour, a super low handicapper, someone who's competing for your club championship every year, or maybe even a golf professional or caddy, someone in the business, this device is about as good as it gets in terms of precision. Now, there are other rangefinders in this category that will do more for this price point, and I think might be better suited for you mid to high handicappers. I'm gonna put a video right here so you can take a look at one of those and see if it's the right one for you. I hope you enjoyed this review, and I'll catch you back here very soon on another edition of Let's Play Through.